Hey everyone, it's Becca here, leader of the Scrunchy Squad, and you're listening to the Wrestling with Entertainment podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing, reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and interviewing your favorite wrestlers every Saturday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox. So why settle for less? I am your host, James J., alongside Carlito Yachts.
First show of the new year, man. It's just a lot going on. But I must say, 2020 must have came with us into 2021.
And Scooter Dust.
I just want to say that, Dr. Dre needed a doctor, and he got a good one.
And, this is our first live show since December 18th, I believe. A lot going on.
BC, before COVID.
I don't know. I've been trying to look at wrestling news. Didn't seem like there was a lot going on. Maybe time to wrap this up before we even start. But it is a great day for wrestling, as our last interview before our pre-recordings was with Jack Stevens, and we actually found somebody that had a conversation about Darby Allin with a complete stranger in a supermarket. And who doesn't believe in Christmas miracles, right?
I guess the broken clock's right twice a day.
The Jewish kid over here doesn't believe in Christmas miracles.
Well, a Hanukkah miracle. A Hanukkah miracle in your case. I believe he said a Kwanzaa miracle.
There you go. Kwanzaa miracle.
Miracles are miracles.
Exactly. A couple days ago was our first interview of the new year. And it was a very special interview because it was our 2-year anniversary show. And we had on Basic Becca. And all of us joined Scrunchy Squad. And I gotta say, Basic Becca, a couple years down the line, she will be ruling the wrestling world. And
I must say, I've done a lot of things in my life. I think joining the Scrunchy Squad is up there.
Your son being born and then Scrunchy Squad kind of equal?
I'd say, nah, son, I'd be shallow, but it's close.
Next week we have on the show Hunter Freeman, which is one of our more unique interviews. A lot of great content with this guy. He is the current Ground Zero champion, and we kind of cover all things Hunter Freeman, and even a gender reveal match for his child, which is a great story that you don't want to miss. And after that, on I believe the 20th, we have Jessie Nolan, who is a complete contrast from Hunter Freeman. She just started her career, only 3 matches into her wrestling career. And I don't know, this interview kind of hit me in the feels for, I kind of got nostalgic when we interviewed Whiskey John at the beginning of all this, because he was kind of starting out his career as well.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
The interviews, they seem to be taking on an evolution all their own, and one seems to somehow lead right into to the next one in some way. And that's something you don't see with most interview and wrestling-based podcasts. They just bring someone on, interview. No, we find a way to connect every single person we've interviewed so far.
Oh, absolutely. And we're not just
So what
talking
you're
about.
saying is we're the Kevin Bacon of wrestling podcast.
We are the Kevin, what do they call it? P-meal bacon, not like
Yes.
Americanized bacon.
Footloose bacon.
Hey, I'm good. I'm good with bacon. I like bacon. And since our last episode, I did become trivia champion of Wrestling with Entertainment. So
Congratulations.
yeah,
Barely. I'm
ex-
surprised the young person beat us. I don't know.
hey, I know my shit. And we had a watch along of the Royal Rumble. We all picked some great matches, some really great content that you don't want to miss. If I highly recommend watching Royal Rumble watch along. I mean, you're going to see maybe some matches you haven't seen in quite some time or not at all. So again, I encourage you to do that. And enough putting ourselves over. Let's get into some wrestling. Last time we spoke, a lot of things happened. Randy Orton set the Fiend on fire, and Brodie Lee suddenly and unexpectedly passed away at 41 years old. I know we're late to this, but we haven't done a show in quite some time. But I do feel that we should acknowledge this because it was a big deal. Scooter, could you say some words about Brodie?
Yes. For those of you who don't know by now, I mean, we'll just go over the the basics in terms of who Brodie Lee was. Of course, real name everybody knows by now, John Huber, born Rochester, New York, December 16th, 1979, just after his 41st birthday.
So he was born December 16th, so he was a couple weeks into his 41. So he didn't even get 41.
He started out as a backyard wrestler. Wrestled in upstate New York. Really came into his own in the now defunct Chikara, where he took on the gimmick of the Right Stuff Brodie Lee. Eventually, he would go on to Square Circle Wrestling in Syracuse. Again, we're going to go right through this because everybody knows this already. Brodie Lee, Ring of Honor, being part of Age of the Fall with Jimmy Jacobs as well. Jersey All-Pro as well. And then, of course, his time in the WWE as Luke Harper, and then one half of the Legend Brothers also. Former Intercontinental Champion. Perhaps the only sentence Luke Harper ever uttered on WWE television, "I'm a team player," which always stood out to me. That always stood out to me. I laughed like hell at that, and I loved it. Being part of the infamous 2014 Survivor Series match, Cena versus the Authority, that involved Sting. Harper, unfortunately, never picked up enough traction in the WWE wasn't really recognized for his potential talent as a singles career. AEW is where he really shined when everybody thought Matt Hardy was coming in to be the leader of the Dark Order. The AEW pulls a great swerve and reveals it's actually Brodie Lee, and Brodie Lee shines like we've never seen him before as the figurehead, the leader of the Dark Order. Guys wearing suits, giving orders. He's the second TNT champion. I mean, and the guy could move in the ring. For a man his size, he could move. He just an absolute talent. Gone too soon. Kept a lot of things among his family, which by all means they should have. He was under no obligation to share anything with his fans. He passed peacefully. I can't guarantee that because the exact details of his passing, except for knowing that he had suffered from lung issues for quite a while and still had the career he had.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Fortunately, his number was called, and he joined the great roster in the sky. And I will say this: there are very few moments in pro wrestling that can make me cry. I cried for Brodie Lee.
Absolutely. And Kalika, you wanna say a couple words about Brodie Lee?
Man, how do I top that part? It's crazy because the two matches that I think of Brodie as far as like his WWE career, obviously the ladder match against Dolph Ziggler, which was really, really good.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
the other one was the Falls Count Anywhere match against Dean Ambrose. I always thought that match was funny because they started in the car and ended up getting chased around and like and they come back and they still fight. It was just a wild, like, it was different. It was a different Falls Count Anywhere match. Honestly, it's saddening to see someone go that soon. But honestly, I'm a little disappointed. And the reason being I'm disappointed in us as wrestling fans, and the sense where we get into a competition about who does the tribute the best. And to me, I feel like when someone of that stature dies who's been across multiple platforms, I feel like the acknowledgement should be good enough. The fact that they that he made an impact to where they were willing to do it and allow other people to do it in their own way is good enough. And people turned his death into a AEW versus WWE battle over who could do the best tribute. And to me, that was the most disappointing part because of the simple fact that we should be coming together on stuff like this. Like, wrestling is one of those things where very few people make it past a certain age. And you would think with all these deaths coming around, you would, think that it would make the community stronger, but for some odd reason, certain people, extremists on whatever you want to call them, the fringe or whatever, they make it a company versus company issue. And to me, this is not a company versus company issue. This is a professional wrestling community issue.
Absolutely.
And we should all be coming together about it. You know what I mean? Prime example, when Kobe Bryant died, no one was caring that the Clippers were doing a tribute better than the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
True.
The whole community as a whole, was coming together, regardless of whether what you thought about them. And I just wish we could get to the point where we can respect each other to at least do that much in 2021.
And joining the party, Mitch Mayhem.
What up, man? Happy New Year.
Oh, my bad. Hey,
There you
what
go.
up? Hey, what's up?
Well, good, man. How could you maybe speak a little bit about Brodie Lee?
Yeah, dude. I never had the pleasure of meeting the guy, but from friends I have who have, literally every time I hear about him, the first thing I hear, he's the nicest fucking person you'll ever meet. Like, he was a good person, how he treated people. He was beloved behind in the back in WWE. He was one of the most beloved wrestlers, and he was so underrated and underappreciated, in my opinion. And he finally got free of those chains and was progressing, and he was getting there. He was on track to do great things. He was a champion, and it's really tragic. But Carlito is right. We need to start waking up as not just wrestling fans, but as people, and how we treat each other, and realize that the next day we might not be here anymore. It came so suddenly. We never thought he was going to be gone.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's something we should all look at. I really do.
And maybe
I have to add something on top of that. Now, Brodie's passing, absolutely devastating. But it came at a time, and I'm going personal here. In the last 2 weeks, I have lost 5 people near and dear to me. 5 people in my life have died,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
and it takes such a toll to the point where, and I'm not gonna pull any punches. I'm I'm continuing to battle mental illness, and it's no joke. To the point where I think, yeah, I'm gonna say it. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline saved my life, and for anybody that's out there thinking that there's no other option, the Lifeline is there. 800-273-8255. Death is a terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy, and a lot of people don't understand that it when it happens one after the other, boom, 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 boom. The people are suddenly just not there, and you wonder, like, how, like, it's just take the time, breathe, call the prevention line. It might just save one of our listeners' lives too.
And thank you for saying that, Scooter. I know that that must have been hard for you to say.
And thank you for letting me share that.
Absolutely. And I'll top off this Brodie Lee type of tribute. Honestly, I think we could maybe even do a whole tribute show to him and go a lot longer than we have. Because, even though, this guy was a mid-carder in his WWE career um, and got some success in his short time in AEW, there's still so much to cover. And I think, you know, us as fans kind of, you know, just underappreciate the mid card or bottom of the card for what they do. Huh. We talk about,
True.
John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Moxley. We don't talk a lot about those guys that's under the card that, put in the same amount of time, work, and effort.
Real, real
And
quick, if I may, it's kind of relative though. Like how people are judged on the card. It's a weird thing, and it doesn't even mean it's not really where they're at. Drew McIntyre was called a mid carder for life, and now look at him.
Right.
It's a judgment call, and it's a false judgment call most of the time. So yeah,
Well,
I agree with you.
what I'm getting at is we need to, not just look at, watch the main events and, have our backroom matches. I think we should have to, respect everybody on the card
Of
and
course.
really appreciate what they do for us, because clearly some of them might not be there when we need them.
Real quick, I saw a dark match. Every now and then, you never know. If you don't look at the dark matches and everything, you never know what you're gonna miss out on. I saw a dark match that I was there live between. You didn't think on paper this would be a big deal. Test and Rob Conway. Rob Conway did the best fake job of an injury I'd ever seen in my fucking life. I was convinced he was hurt, and he pops up out of nowhere. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. So you never know. You'll miss things like that because they're considered dark matches.
Right. And of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to John Herbert and his family through this difficult time. Now on to some more recent news. Marty Scurll has been released from his Ring of Honor contract. That's a name we haven't heard in a super long time. What do you think where's Marty Scurll going nowadays? Kalika, you want to start us off?
Oh, I was gonna. Okay.
Oh, you want to say something, Mitch?
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think there's like a new group of people that, like, whether it's Me Too or allegations behind backstage, like Marty Scurll and Tessa Blanchard, they're kind of in the same group now, of where some companies might not want to touch them because they're too toxic, even though they got all the talent in the world. So I think it might be that kind of situation.
What about you, Kalika? Do you think that this was a Me Too allegation scandal, or do you think that he's just
Fallout.
Yeah. What are your takes on it? Kalika?
I don't think he's here. I think he went AFK.
Scooter, you wanna show your thoughts?
Well, given it was almost blink and miss it.
Right.
Like, it was just posted, and for a moment I thought Marty posted it himself. And I think I personally didn't see anything about any allegations against Marty Scurll, just that they had amicably parted ways. And when you think about it, he's he's like the last jigsaw puzzle piece, to the elite. So if he does end up anywhere, yeah, he's gonna be all elite. Provided nothing comes out and there's no legal issues. But then again, who knows?
Do you think that
Yeah.
this may
Oh,
have
sorry.
been, allegations that weren't publicized against him? Maybe it was more hush hush that maybe Ring of Honor
No.
knew about, or do you think that this is all speculation and it just kind of came up?
Obviously, we're participating in speculation. I mean, come on now. But obviously, I don't think this is one specific thing. I think there's many things we don't know. We're not there. We're not behind the scenes. We're not him. We're not. There's a lot we don't know that doesn't come to the surface. Death by 1,000 cuts. I'm sure there was some other stuff to it, like with the Tessa Blanchard situation.
The odd thing about the release in general is that he was the head booker.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not like he doesn't have any. He's always, the rumors have been for years of him going because of his buddies are AEW, and he was going to start the company with them, or he was going to come and be the Dark Order leader. What I'm glad he wasn't. I'm glad, Brodie got to do it. He deserved it. He was right for it. But this has been in the works for a while. Is my point. This is not like everyone knows he has somewhere to go. He has somewhere to fall back on. They're his friends, so they're going to take him no matter what.
But that's going back to what you just said, Mitch. He might have a stigma of a Tessa Blanchard. Well,
Right.
do you think that there's maybe some, again, speculation, maybe heat in All Elite with Marty? And because, Cody kind of touched on that there was maybe some issues between him and Marty. Do you think Marty is maybe hard to work with?
I'm not gonna. I don't know about that personal stuff. I really don't know. That would just be 100% speculation. I don't know their personal life.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, we'll definitely cover it if it comes back up, and if it comes back up, it seems like this kind of came out of nowhere and kind of quietly went under the bed, so to speak.
I think it was one of those things that it was like, I feel like it was done like they waited until the right time when things were dead enough and died down enough from the fire from in the past. I feel like that it was like done as quietly as possible, so as few people as possible would notice, kind of thing.
Another thing that was interesting this past week, Carlito, Caribbean Cool, was advertised for the Raw Legends show, but never actually made an appearance.
And that's a shocker to you?
Meaning?
He's got a history of it.
Of not showing up?
Yeah, and back in like 07, 08, after his WWE run. Oh yeah, with Independence.
Oh, so this isn't a new phenomenon with Carlito.
No.
What say you, Scooter?
Carlito, like, I mean, is there anything to say?
Complicated guy, yeah, he's a complicated guy.
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's really nothing. Yeah, I feel like I have to share a piece of news to like counteract that.
Huh?
But I think I think I'll deliver that after we talk about Wrestle Kingdom.
Counteract what? I don't know what you mean.
Carlito and the negativity he brings anywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, that's obvious.
And we will definitely be getting into Wrestle Kingdom. But another thing that happened on All Elite Wrestling, the Good Brothers came back and kind
Yeah, how
of
about that?
reformed Bullet Club with Kenny and the Bucks. I mean,
The band 2.0, which was also in TNA with Nash, but okay, yeah.
yeah. I thought it was the
We'll
club.
forget that one, yeah. Well, I think that's trademarked by WWE.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty cool little moment, right?
Yes, cool moment,
Not surprising, though.
but it should have been somebody to defend Impact.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I mean, they like that's it's almost like we're seeing the realization that Kenny started All Elite.
Oh, I have an idea.
Just to remind all of us of the the connections he has and the power he has in this company, which actually might be the point of the angle.
Real quick, I just thought of this. Like, this might not be like the main. Obviously, Moxley's his main adversary, but someone who could, in theory, he's part of AEW. He's on the AEW roster, but he's been in Impact. Who would be a great opponent, and I think could carry that storyline somewhat? Brian Cage. I think that would work.
Well, this is obviously a part of a bigger storyline between Impact and AEW. And next Saturday, Kenny is teaming with Gallows and Anderson to take on Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns. Why don't you think we kind of haven't seen them on Impact on All Elite TV yet?
Who?
Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh.
I mean, next week should be the main show for that to happen.
I think it's to come. I'm sure it's a talent exchange, obviously. So,
I mean, if I was AEW, I would, if I was Tony Khan, I'd want to take advantage of the fact that Impact
the women's division. Oh, sorry.
has the monthly pay-per-views.
And the women's division, yeah. But anyway.
But it's like, they announced that 6-man tag main event. It's like trying to be New World Order-esque, and
the Pooh World Order.
I mean, I'm betting somebody from Impact will probably turn and hard to kill, despite the fact that whoever wins it won't matter who wins or loses the match.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like Gallows and Anderson already kind of turned on Impact.
I mean, somebody in terms of you would have never expected to turn on Impact.
Like Moose.
Like, Moose is a good one, but the only way I think he has any benefit is if Swann pins Omega clean as a sheet.
Interesting. And we do have one little bit of news, another piece of news, but I think we might save that for after the Wrestle Kingdom review.
Yes, because it literally just broke today.
Right. As we've been speaking, Carlito has unfortunately dropped out and having some internet connection issues. So
That's what happened all across the country.
I'm having some major internet issues as well. But
It depends if you have Wi-Fi or connected in cable internet. Yeah.
Two days ago, I could barely make a phone call.
Yeah. So we are wrestling with Wrestle Kingdom 15 review. It was in the Tokyo Dome on January 4th. This is day 1. The attendance was 12,000, which is maddening and to think about in the coronavirus era of wrestling, no?
Especially in Japan, where they were wearing face masks before the pandemic.
Right. And unfortunately, it seems like Japan might be going back under lockdown after this because they haven't announced matches for the new beginning tour, which is climaxing at on the 30th of January. So that'd be really interesting to see what happens there. The first match out is the New Japan Rambo match. Essentially, it's a Royal Rumble match with the four people in the ring at the end of the match will go on tonight to wrestle for KOPW trophy title match. Are you following this right now?
Yes, the final four go to fight the next night for the provisional King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy.
Every 1 minute, another superstar will enter the match. Chase Owens was the first person to be locked in, then Bushi and Fale, Bad Luck Fale, and then this was a 22-man Rambo match with only 21 competitors, and number 21, Toriano, didn't even get into the match because they already had their 4 guys ready. So your 4 competitors for night 2 was Chase Owens, Bushi, Bad Luck Fale, and Toriano. This is a very Toriano thing to happen, right?
Oh yeah, I mean the 2020 king of yeah, he was the 2020, right?
Yes. He won
Okay.
KOPW 2020.
God, I would hate it if I ended up confusing my Japanese wrestlers.
And we have been
Says
by
the
Carlito.
consent. Never mind. It was a joke. I was gonna say. Never mind. Go ahead.
Carlito, we are talking Wrestle Kingdom, KOPW Night 1, the Rambo match.
I mean, the fact that Toriano won literally doing nothing is the encapsulates 2020 in such
Man, is that a metaphor? Yeah. I was gonna say.
Nothing says 2020 by winning a match chilling. Easiest payday of his life. Easiest match payday of his life.
Next match on the card. And this was actually the opening of the show because the first match was a pre-show match. Hiromu Takahashi defeated El Phantasmo in 17 minutes and 46 seconds with a Hurricanrana by Hiromu Takahashi. And this was a great opener for Wrestle Kingdom, no, Carlito?
Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, night one, it like we were talking, it was kind of predictable. You kind of knew what was going on, but I mean, doesn't stop the excitement part. We must say, correct?
Correct.
It just feels like it went the way that it was supposed to go, is to me. But some of the matches were more entertaining than others.
Well, one of the interesting things in this match is New Japan is trying to sell that El Phantasmo has a loaded boot. And when he hits the super kick, it's that steel plate in his boot knocks his opponent out. Kind of re-emerging the super kick as a finish. What do you think about that, Mitch?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
El Phantasmo has a loaded boot, and he's kind of selling that he has a devastating super kick. Is that a good thing, considering how people have been crapping on the super kick as of late?
I mean, yeah, it's an old antiquated move, but if it works, it works. I mean, shit. And if you got a loaded boot, I mean, why not? If you don't get caught, I mean, that's the referee's responsibility, right?
Right. What about you, Scudo? What do you kind of think of El Phantasmo reviving the super kick as a finish?
I mean, by New Japan standards, that's pretty tame. I mean,
It is.
considering that most matches, most matches that go the distance are throwing 7, 8 super kicks and variations of super kicks, and
but it's like a punch with brass knuckles. It's a loaded boot. You know?
yeah. I mean, it's really difficult to sell the idea of a loaded boot without seeing anything go into it beforehand.
Well, according to him, he's been practicing his super kicks on trees since the pandemic.
Well, if a tree is super kicked in the woods and nobody's there to see it fall, does it fall? Is it still super kicked?
Second matchup, Gorillas of Destiny Tama Tonga Loa defeat Dangerous Techers, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi in 19 minutes and 18 seconds with ape shit. And Tama Tonga took the arm fingers from Taichi. Kaliko, your thoughts on the match?
We all know how I feel about Tai Chi, so it was kind of like poetry in motion. But God, keep in mind, I feel like the pandemic started as soon as God lost the tag titles. Can we just throw that out there? So right. Let's hope that everything gets the right ship with a rightful tag team being crowned once again.
So does that mean if they re-win the tag titles that everything's going to be okay again?
Yeah, let's just hope. Let's hope everything just goes back to normal. Right
I know, right? Put the genie back in the fucking bottle, man.
Like, okay, you win, world. God got the belt back. Thank you.
Well, you said that how you feel about Taichi. What are your thoughts on Yoshihashi?
Fuck Yoshihashi, man. But I must say, Taichi
sounds like a French sneeze. Yoshihashi.
But I must say, Taichi this year, or in 2020, he had an impressive year.
Yes.
All things considered, I must admit, like, as much as I give him shit because of his character. Yoshihashi, he's just a dick to me. He looks like a dick. He looks like the dude. He looks like the low gangster that goes into the like sushi bar and just try to raise hell because he's with the crew. That's his demeanor to me.
And it only took a pandemic for them to get titles, right?
It took a pandemic for Toru Yano to be the king of pro wrestling, Yoshihashi to get a belt, and Tai Chi to be the tag champ. I feel like 2020 is just yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah,
Sorry, I meant his name sounded like a Japanese sneeze. Sorry, but yeah. Anyway.
we got it.
Oh, Yoshihashi, bless you.
Yoshihashi, yeah.
Speaking of a guy that can't get a title, Kenta defended his IWGP US Heavyweight Right to Challenge contract against Satoshi Kojima. In 14 minutes and 12 seconds, Kenta won with a go to sleep. At this point, Kenta is the champion without actually holding the championship. Even Kenta was like, okay, John Moxley, if you want to challenge me for this briefcase, come on and try and get it. You know, the actual United States champion.
I mean, they wouldn't have been in this situation had they had a tournament and had Kenta win the belt instead of waiting 3 years for John Moxley to come.
I was gonna say they should have pulled the trigger on this a long time ago. I think this is absolutely the person who needs to beat him to take the belt off him finally. But like Kaliko said, it's kind of overdue.
Scooter, do you think that the briefcase has become more prestigious than the actual title at this point?
Played out.
I'm actually more surprised nobody's talking about the fact that it's friggin' Satoshi Kojima.
Wait, what?
The guy he beat.
Kojima.
Oh.
That, I mean, how long has it been since Kojima has had a match? I mean, the last time we heard anything about Kojima, he was sitting down to dinner with Triple H.
Can I be honest? I don't know who the hell that is.
Well, you know, since the pandemic, Kojima is trying to kind of have like a career reemergence. And this was his first singles match at a Wrestle Kingdom since, I want to say they said 2012? And he was only in the match because Juice Robinson got injured.
Real quick, does Kojima go by another name I would know in WWE or something when he was there, or what?
He was never there.
No, there was talk. You had dinner with Triple H. It was during a potential time where Ring of Honor was WWE was considering working with Ring of Honor.
I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, they air a promo from Moxley.
Oh, gee, that's so wow.
It's like just
another promo. Yeah.
Like it just make him the interim champion and like stop kicking it like a dead horse.
Yeah, overdue's being respectful about the situation, saying it's overdue.
Speaking of a dead horse, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated the Great Okan in 17 minutes and 13 seconds with the high five throw.
If that's the case, I feel bad for his wife, but anyway.
Kaliko, your thoughts?
I mean, it was just something for Tanahashi to do. I mean, he's still the John Cena of this bitch, and he does what he wants, man. They're gonna make him fit, because as long as the girls are yelling Tanahashi, and then he good.
You mean clapping Tanahashi?
Tanahashi. Yep. Once they stop doing that, then we worry.
Okay. Kazuchika Okada defeated Will Ospreay in 35 minutes and 41 seconds with the fucking Rainmaker. I mean, he didn't drive 5 minutes from his house just to lose to Will Ospreay, no?
Kaliko? No, he did not. He did not get up eat breakfast, take a Uber, just to go lose to Will Ospreay. But the fact that he even brought the Rainmaker back was like a holy shit moment. Because it's been a while since it's been forever. It felt like forever since he used that move. So I will say it full. I just love the shots that they gave us in Long Beach for that show. Rainmaker.
I mean,
It feels good.
just, you know.
It sounded like a horny Wookiee. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I kind of got pissed. I kind of got pissed at him because, he's been trying for that money clip, and I was like, dude, just fucking do the Rainmaker. I mean, that's it. And,
Yeah, true, but the thing is like, there's never, like, Okada's like the most betrayed wrestler in the last 3 years. I feel like everyone's like, fuck you, I'm out type shit. So for him to go through this, like, he's been going through this like 2-year identity crisis. You remember he used to come out with balloons and shit and red hair and da-da. So he was just going through he was wallowing through life at this point. So I guess it just got him to get back to what he was. And Ospreay is the guy who did it. Now, I must say, for Ospreay, I think this is his best storytelling match that he's ever had. And that's good because, when you think of Will Ospreay, you just think flips and shit. So to me, that element of him is really good to see.
All right. That brings us to our main event of night 1. Kota Ibushi defeated Tetsuya Naito in 31 minutes and 18 seconds with a Kamagoye. And Kota Ibushi is your new IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion. Carlito, do you want to tell us your thoughts on the match?
It was a good match, really solid match. I'm disappointed Naito didn't win because I thought, based on how this match would go, it could kind of tell you what night 2 was gonna go. But the one thing that I do like about the fact is the fact that after the match, because the match was over, and like he had just got the pin, and the ref was trying to like tell him you won, but he was still trying to crawl and pin him. So to me, and from what I saw, that just sold the physicality of the match, if that makes sense. It sold the fact that Naito kicked his ass so much that even when he won, he didn't think he won.
Right.
Which is impressive as fuck.
And,
That's an interesting way to look at it.
After the match, Naito handed Kota Ibushi the 2 belts. I kind of felt like that was New Japan's way of trying to get the crowd behind Kota Ibushi because Naito is literally everybody in Japan's guy. So the people wouldn't turn on Kota Ibushi. Scooter, do you kind of agree or disagree?
Like years. Okay.
God. I gotta pass on this because it's
too hard of a question.
I'm speechless. I'm just speechless. That's the best way to say it.
What say you, Mitch?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, buddy?
Naito gave Kota Ibushi the belt so the fans won't turn on Kota Ibushi because Naito is the main guy.
Is that what you think, or?
That's what I think. Do you agree with that statement, or do you kind of?
No, I actually think Kota deserves it. I think he's earned it. I think he's a young, talented guy. I think he's gonna be at the top for a long time. He might be their number one at some point.
But
No,
I'm talking about in the eyes of the fans, because Naito is their guy, and then you beat their guy.
Not
There's
every.
a little
Okay, so
backlash.
Japan is very unique in the way that there's like audience has sections of people for certain people. It's not all face versus heels. You got a section for certain heels even that get cheered. It's just a different kind of wrestling culture. And so, no, I don't know that everyone was completely cheering for Naito. I don't know that. I mean, yeah, some were, sure. But usually the most vocal or the loudest are the most vocal, So, like me,
And we're going on to night 2 now. First match out. Toru Yano beat Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens and Bushi in 7 minutes and 34 seconds. Yano won with a pinfall. Kaliko, KLP champion 2021, Toru Yano. Your thoughts?
Might as well call him Drake because he's going back to back, baby. That boy is killing it right now. But at this point, I feel like the King of Pro Wrestling title is starting to be like the 24/7 title, in which Toru Yano is going to be so infamous with the title that you don't really think about him other than having that title. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay, Mr. Philosopher Kaliko.
Good. You know how like it's kind of like how certain actors like they're more known for certain roles. Like Steve is more known for Blue's Clues. He could have done anything else in his life, but he's the motherfucker for Blue's Clues. You know what I'm saying? Like
we don't even know his last name. It's just Steve. Yeah.
Exactly. Like he could be Steve Kornacki, Steve Williams, Dr. Death. He could have been, but he could have been in like he could have been in Guardians of the Galaxy, but we see, hey, that's Steve from Blue's Clues. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Joker, but Jared Leto took it from him.
Mary Poppins, y'all. I love that part. Mary Poppins, y'all. I love that shit.
Next match. Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado defeated Grandmaster Wado and Ryusuke Taguchi in 13 minutes and 20 seconds with Pince del Loco. And still your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, El Desperado and Kanemaru. This was... It kind of seems like Despy and Kanemaru don't really have challenges for those IWGP titles. It kind of seems like they're just they kind of drew Wado and Taguchi to the wolves. No, Kaliko?
Yeah, but I think with the junior tag division, I feel like they're waiting on Roppongi 3K to come back because I feel like they're the division. So it's kind of like fillers until they get there. Because that junior heavyweight division is not as deep as it used to be.
Right.
And they gotta figure out what to do until Show and Yo or Yo and Show and whoever the hell come back.
Right. And not a sleeper match. Shingo Takagi defeated Jeff Cobb to retain the Never Openweight Championship in 21 minutes and 11 seconds, but lost to the Dragon. What kind of salad does Jeff Cobb eat, Scooter?
Ranch Parmesan. No.
I think we lost Scooter.
Sorry.
Kaliko, thoughts on the match?
Gee, I wonder what you wanted me to say. His name's Cobb. No.
Who does Jeff Cobb owe money to in Japan? Because I feel like that dude.
Well,
that dude ain't.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Juice Robinson didn't have this bad of a break. Who the hell Jeff Cobb owes money to? That's what I'm trying to figure
Probably
out.
starts with a Y, and I've said it before on the show many times.
Who, Toro Yano? He owes Toro
Never mind.
Yano money?
No. Never mind. It's a video game.
He owed money to a video
The
game?
name Yakuza.
This was actually one of the better matches on the card. Shingo Takagi is really doing some great matches, no?
I mean, yeah, Takagi is. I mean, I think we all said Takagi was coming out of this, and Cobb continues to fall and fall and fall. Guys in a bottomless pit of.
Well, the one thing I did want to touch on, Jeff Cobb's part of the Empire, which is Will Ospreay's faction. Will Ospreay lost, Great Khan lost, Jeff Cobb lost. What does that kind of say for their faction that they couldn't get one win at Wrestle Kingdom?
Well, whenever there's an empire, there's always a 2-meter wide hole for somebody to come in and blow it up.
Real quick, I thought Jeff Cobb was on the decline since his AEW stint that didn't go so well.
For his cup of coffee?
Right. I think he's been on. It's all been downhill from there, really.
Sonata beat Evil in 23 minutes and 40 seconds with a rounding body press. Kaliko, you must have been happy that your boy scored a pinfall at Wrestle Kingdom.
Finally, shit. Like they've been setting him up for the slaughter since Jesus knows how long. You know what I mean? Like
since since Jesus.
But to me, they've been setting his ass up for the ass. They've been setting his ass up for the okie doke ass whooping forever, yo.
That would have been hilarious. But
Japanese Jesus.
The word slaughter says Jesus. Oh God.
Oh my God.
God forgive us.
Yeah. But
apologize for anybody that we may have offended.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. It's the way
but
he
they
said
do him dirty.
It's like the thing Hitler.
They set him up.
No,
they set him up for the. I can make the analogy. They set him up for the crucifixion. He made the semis of the New Japan Cup, gets his ass whooped by Okada. He makes it to the finals of the G1, gets his ass whooped by Ibushi. It is just like, what the fuck he's got to do, bro? I feel bad for him because I personally like his style. I like his demeanor. And they just he gets a break at least. I mean, Yoshihashi wasn't in the damn cards, so I guess
yes,
that's
he was. He
plus,
was in the Rumble match.
No one gives a fuck. But anyway, we talking the main card. Ain't nobody giving a fuck. But I don't know. I guess it's good for him in a sense because I guess he's the redeemer for quote unquote for Naito since Evil left, and
the redeemer of worlds.
Next match, Taichi Ishimori lost to Hiromu Takahashi in 25 minutes and 31 seconds with Time Bomb 2. Hiromu Takahashi, your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Stevie Wonder could have saw this match.
Wait, say that again?
Right?
Wait, say that again? Who's the new champion?
Hiromu Takahashi is the IWGP Heavyweight Junior
I thought I
Heavyweight
heard a different
champion.
name. Okay, sorry. Never mind.
And Stevie Wonder could have saw this one coming. No, Kaliko?
Exactly. He's like the second most popular guy on the fucking roster. Arguably the most popular.
Wait, is it Takahashi like old Takahashi?
Hiromu Takahashi.
No.
Time Bomb.
No, not Tanahashi. Takahashi.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. The names confuse me, dude. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, he's deserved it for a while. I don't know why they've been taking so long with him either, personally.
Well, he won the belt last year, and then
Except
he
his
lost
injury.
it.
He got an injury.
Yeah, he came back from the injury, won the belt, and then he lost it, and he got it back. But it's too many Takahashis and Tanahashis.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just confusing, man. Just
because his last name,
damn it, I don't know.
Because his last name is the same last name as the Tokyo Pimp. So when I first got into it, I used to confuse them two all the time. Like, wait a minute, the Tokyo Pimp or the Time Bomb?
Because that's a common Japanese name. Yeah.
Just be named John Smith.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, just Bob. Let's just go with Bob.
Just call him Duke Drozy.
Or Mongo.
No Mongo.
Mongo like candy.
That brings us to our main event, the last match on the
I gotta
card.
leave that one alone.
Kota Ibushi defeated Jay White in 48 minutes and 5 seconds with a Kamagoye. And Kota Ibushi has retained the double championships. Not the main thing to come out of Kota Ibushi is not the main thing to come out of this match. I think everybody's heard by now. Jay White kind of quit New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Whoa.
WWE is.
Whoa.
Yep, he's WWE bound for the most part.
Oh shit! That's a big coup, dude. That's a big coup for WWE.
They are going to make a play for him, and
if they get him, that's big.
It's no secret that they've wanted him ever since Kenny Omega put him in Bullet Club.
Okay, but let me just be devil's advocate real quick. Jay White has been given his damn career by these people, by NJPW. Don't you think he maybe got to show a little bit of loyalty? It's the land of honor, you know? I don't think they're going to appreciate the lack of honor if he just runs for the money at the first given opportunity.
Well, that's the thing, Mitch. I don't necessarily think New Japan really appreciates Jay White, which is
true. But I know how people like that think they gave everything to him, so they hold that over his head. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is what happens in the wrestling world.
And you think he would have maybe succeeded a little bit more? You know, he is a gaijin, but he is a product of New Japan.
Right, and I'm sure he has to hear it all the time. It would wear on me if I had to hear about how certain people made me all the time. I'm sure he does.
But at the same time, is it the honorable thing to lord that over?
True.
Talent? Yeah, it's.
But people in power, they dictate what is honor and what isn't. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'll do that anyways. Yeah.
I mean, but. I mean, it's, all right, we'll bring up Lesnar in 2004 after he left, and then eventually found his way to Japan, and it had a huge resurgence in his career, and then left. So, it does go both ways. Money, I don't necessarily know if it would be money as much as creative, and Jay White probably wants a fresh opportunity to get in front of a fresher audience.
An American-speaking audience, perhaps?
I mean,
that's his native language, after all.
I mean, he did. I mean, he started out, in New Zealand.
I'm just saying, it's got to be awkward for any person going, to a different country, and he's, I'm just saying, he would be more comfortable, I would think, where he could speak the language easier.
I mean, Finn Balor, made his most of his career in Japan, save for
True.
the highlights in the UK, and then
Because that's just where the market was at the time, right?
that's also a good point. I mean,
Markets dictate a lot. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Honestly, I see, and I said this way back when that we would see Jay White in the WWE before we saw him in AEW.
I think I heard
But
someone
that
say
begs
that.
the question: would WWE know what to do with a Jay White if they got him?
They don't even know what to do with Keith Lee. What are you talking about? They can't do if they can't do Keith Lee right. There's some problems. Okay.
But then that depends on what is the perception of what is right.
True, but it seems like that perception has been dictated by one person for so many years that it's like in a bubble. It's whatever pleases that one person and not the masses, when it should be what's going to please a mass amount of people as to just one person.
Well, I mean,
it's an old antiquated system. It needs to be changed.
But that's more true now than ever, because honestly, I think Vince would be happy if fans never returned to the arena.
I don't think that's not true. Wait, I'm getting no, because that's money. Those fans, they didn't just bring their asses; they brought money, and that's what he cares about. No, I think he's gonna miss that cash.
So, what does Vince love more, money or the ability to be the voice that dictates what American wrestling is?
There's nothing's been exclusive. He can do both at the same time.
So, what are your thoughts on the situation?
Yeah. All right, here's what I'm gonna say.
Man, you jumped off that topic quick, man, James.
I think Jay White hasn't been done right since 2019, and here's why.
Well, we know what. Yeah.
No. And here's what I'm gonna say. When I think it went downhill for him when they treated him as evil as a transitional champion when he won the belt.
He should have never been champion.
Nah. Just to lose it at
Nope.
Just to lose it at MSG, right?
If you're saying Evil should have never gotten the title, I 100% agree with you, dude.
I feel like that run was supposed to have been for Jay White, but that's a whole nother subject. So to me, I think
it seems fishy.
The downward trend for him started at MSG. And after MSG, he's just been kind of willowing through the weeds. And then he got to Wrestle Kingdom. He had the disappointing night one where he lost to Naito. And then he wallowed 2020. He got the briefcase. I feel like he's been so close to it, but never got it, right? And everyone keeps saying he should leave because it's the honorable thing to do. Now, Jay White was the top gaijin, but the difference between him and Kenny Omega was the fact that Kenny was immersed himself in the culture, right? Jay White really didn't give that vibe, if you will. Like, Kenny was more revered because he spoke the Japanese. He loved the game. He was basically Canadian, a dual citizen of Canada and Japan, right? Jay White really didn't get that love because he was just right there, right? So when it makes sense for him to leave, because I don't think he's going to be the top guy. He'll be the top gaijin, but if he wants to be the top person, that's not going to happen. So WWE we'll see where he goes with WWE. And to me, with wrestling, doing right is, hey, they on TV, because there's a lot of motherfuckers there who wish they could be where Keith Lee is, that been there longer. So I mean, I get your point, Mitch, but I think we need to get, to me, Keith Lee, if Keith Lee is not complaining about it, I can't really complain for him. You know what I'm saying? Like Luke Harper, I could see it. The Revival, I could see it. But if he's like, fuck it, I know I got to do what I got to do, then I can't really be pissed for him. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, you say Jay White's been overlooked and all this. Wasn't he a world champion? And didn't he almost win the tournament this year in the summer?
He held the championship for a month. And it was,
yeah, he had it for a month. He had it for the
Didn't he almost win the tournament this summer?
No. I mean, he was in contention for it, but
he wasn't even in contention. No, no. The finals of the G1 this past year was Sonata versus Ibushi. Jay White won.
Jay White was gonna. Okay.
Jay White won the briefcase because he had already beat Ibushi. And he beat him
looked
again.
like he was gonna get to the end. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They made it seem like he could get there, and he ain't there. And I get, I get it. And from New Japan's point, I get it, because when they make a gaijin and then they leave, I could see it, because they were kind of reprehensible with Kenny.
Yeah.
The bad taste from Kenny. So I get where they're trying to do it, but
okay. And you know what? Unfortunately, I think this is gonna. I don't think this might not affect Will Ospreay the same, because I think Ospreay showed his loyalty there over time. But I think this might affect Juice Robinson.
Juice is different. Oh,
Juice is a face.
But they're gaijins. They're gaijins. So, but Ospreay's been here for years. You know.
So it's Juice.
He's proven it. No, he came in just a few years ago.
So did Ospreay.
Ospreay's been there for like 4 years, hasn't he?
So did Juice. I feel like Juice been there for like.
Then he was training on the low. Like, I don't know. I heard Ospreay a lot more than I heard about Juice. Yeah.
Well, Juice went through the whole Young Lions camp, so that's
right. Why. Okay, so Ospreay didn't?
No, I don't think so.
Wow. Yeah, I know he started young, but I didn't know he didn't have to go through the young lion kind of. Oh, wow. Okay, that's very rare for a gaijin to be able to skip the young lions.
Right.
That's really rare.
So, the thing that the key word I feel with Jay White is appreciation. He wants to be appreciated, and I think that New Japan kind of underappreciates him because,
I can understand. I totally get where Carlito's coming from. I get it. I see it.
I don't think WWE would necessarily appreciate him either, considering, what era we are in with what they're doing currently on TV.
You know what a wrestler appreciates the most?
And I don't
being able to take care of their family for a long time and being able to live in a decent manner. I think that's appreciation enough.
I think Jay White wants recognition and he wants titles. And if he doesn't get that, I don't necessarily see.
But if you can't get that, why not? Sorry. If you can't get that, though, why not just try to have the best life you can have? Like, sign for a decent amount of money wherever you're going to be happiest creatively. But I'm sure it's not exclusive that he can get paid and be happy.
Well, the thing is, when in his speech, he basically made it seem like, because he made it a key to say, okay, you see me walking, I'm barely walking, and ain't nobody helping me.
Right, yeah.
Like, you see me here, and I put all my, and his speech was basically, I put my shit on the line, and all y'all do is just look. And he was talking about the press and everybody. He's like, when I walk in here, nobody helps me. You think, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of went specific for some reasons.
Right, and that's a very reasonable thing to bring up. Who wants to break their body, heart, sweat, and tears for someone who doesn't feels they're not being respected properly by. So I get it. I do. I totally get it.
Well, I think whatever does happen, we will absolutely cover it as it becomes available to us. And we shall conclude our coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 15 from Tokyo Dome Night 1 and Night 2. If you like what we're doing, please join us this Wednesday as we interview Hunter Freeman, and on the 20th, Jesse Nolan's. Until then, please like, subscribe, comment both on YouTube and Castbox, and join us every Wednesday and Saturday. Until then, you can follow the conversation on Twitter. I am at JamesJ993. Where can they find Carlito?
I am Kaliko, and I'm trying to figure out A, who took the scrunchie, and B, who's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Where can they find Mitch Mayhem if Mitch Mayhem tweeted?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I had the technical difficulties there. You can reach me at Mitch Mayhem X on Twitter, and I was going to say, damn it, Roman, give him back the scrunchie.
And where can they find Scooter Dust?
As always, at Scooter Dust on Twitter and at UNBS Wrestling for the UNB Network. And I may have taken the scrunchie.
Ooh, you're sus.
No, the scrunchie takes you, my friend.
Yes, you become one with the scrunchie.
For Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.